The confrontation between father and son takes place over a long, cold dinner table. The tension is palpable, and Lloyd, Suho, is worried. He has managed to avoid his father until now, but now his business plan is in jeopardy. Baron LloydFrontera, with a stern expression, demands an explanation for his recent activities. Adopting the bored and arrogant tone of the old Lloyd, Suho briefly explains that he is simply following orders from the villagers. The Baron, who seems to have already been informed, solemnly warns him. They're the people we must take care of. I will not tolerate you lying to them or deceiving them. Lloyd, ready to leave, is stopped by his father's words. The Baron believes that his son's actions are a desperate consequence of the family's precarious financial situation. He tells Lloyd not to get involved, assuring him that he will solve the problem. These words, "Don't worry, everything will be fine," trigger a painful memory for Suho. He remembers his own father, in the real world, telling him the same thing before financial troubles destroyed their lives. This time, Suho knows it's not right. Determined not to go through the same ordeal again, he tells the Baron with uncharacteristic firmness, "Please don't give up, because I won't either." These are the words he wishes he had told his father years ago. As Lloyd takes stock of the orders he's received, 32 additions and 57 remodels, already half paid in advance, 2 loan sharks, Meatloaf and Shiloh, show up at the mansion. They walk past Lloyd without greeting him and head straight into the Baron's office. Eavesdropping on the door, Lloyd hears the loan sharks pressuring his father for the debt that is due. The discussion quickly escalates, and Meatloaf makes a grotesque suggestion: sell the Baroness and her ladies-in-waiting to cover the debt. Furious, the Baron rises, but is powerless. In his room, Lloyd ponders how to use these precious points. The system responds, revealing that he can invest RP to gain skills. A scan detects all his latent civil engineering knowledge. Based on these, the system offers him 2 unlockable skills: basic surveying, 15 RP, and basic drafting, 20 RP. Without thinking twice, Lloyd buys both. A green light envelopes him, and his new powers activate. Now, he can visualize the terrain like a GPS grid and create construction plans directly in the air, like a holographic drawing. His work will become infinitely easier. However, one problem remains: the workforce. Javier alone cannot handle 89 projects. Lloyd daydreams about heavy machinery, but the system has another suggestion: a summon. A window that looks like an ad for a mobile game pops up, Random Summon Game, where he can spend RP to obtain a loyal companion. The cost: 50 RP per attempt. With 61 RP in his account, he has enough money for a single draw. The idea of summoning a fantastic creature, a dragon, a powerful monster, a unicorn, to help him with construction like a heavy machine smiles at him. Motivated by this new possibility, Lloyd is more determined than ever. He needs to get more RP, and to do that, the key characters have to like me. His plan is in full swing, and with new abilities and the prospect of a powerful summon, the future looks, for the first time, bright. This is the perfect moment for Lloyd. He enters the room, feigning surprise, and confronts the loan sharks. When they treat him with contempt, Lloyd plays his MasterCard. With calculated calm, he quotes the law of the royal family and nobility, Article 3, Clause 6. All nobles may exercise their right to protect their interests as vassals of the king. Entering the residence of a noble family without a warrant is considered trespassing. The loan sharks are stunned. They have never heard of such a law. Lloyd, confidently bluffing, calls Javier and, with an evil grin, orders him, "Cut off the arm of this intruder." At the sight of Javier drawing his sword, the loan sharks panic. Threatening lawsuits, they flee with their tails between their legs. The Baron is shocked by his son's actions, fearing the consequences, but Lloyd reassures him by throwing a heavy bag of money from the advances on his table, enough to cover the interest for that month. The Baron is even more confused, believing that his son has extorted money from the villagers. But Javier intervenes, guaranteeing that he will personally ensure that Lloyd honors all his orders. The Baron's absolute trust in Javier reassures him. Later, Javier asks Lloyd how he knew about that obscure law. Lloyd gives him an evasive answer, but the truth is that he knew about it from a novel. In a future scene, after the Baron and Baroness' suicide, the same moneylenders were trying to desecrate the graves in order to sell the bodies. Then, it was Javier who cited the law before beheading them. Knowing the story is, without a doubt, his greatest advantage. His intervention was a success. A notification appears, confirming that his father's approval rating has increased by 6 points, earning Lloyd an additional 60 RP. He now has a total of 61 RP.